Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Banished Colonial Charter. I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day because the people of Tuckus are, well, they're reproducing like rabbits, basically. A lot of them have grown up to be laborers, but we've already got a population of 20 with 5 kids. Last time, just towards the end of the episode, we did go ahead and build a few more of these little tiny houses. So we're probably gonna see a few more kids get born. We were actually up to 7 already. Within, what, 10 seconds? 15? We got up to 7 kids from 5? Fair enough. I think my point still stands. They're reproducing like rabbits. We did also get ourselves a 3rd farm, which might have been just in the nick of time because we did run out of food towards the start of spring. So I'm hoping that we're gonna have enough food to see us through. But I'm worried that we won't. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start working on getting a few more farms up here. And this is, this pasture is 11 by 22, so I can get 2 11 by 11 farms in there, which I absolutely want to do. So let's get ourselves an 11 by 11 farm just there, which is going to be like that, and an 11 by 11 farm just there. And then I can run a road around them, and we'll be totally fine. And you might be thinking to yourself, you might be sitting there going, oh god, he's doing it again. The thing with the farms and the food and way too many of them. And I'm going to respond to that accusation, that harsh lie, yeah, actually that's not really a lie. That's pretty accurate. That's pretty much what I'm gonna do. Gonna get a lot of farms. I'm just gonna get a lot of food. It's kind of that simple. We want to make sure we have food to keep us alive. And then later down the line, my goal is absolutely gonna be, you know, making this place look aesthetically pleasing, but for the time being, I couldn't care less about aesthetics. Let's bring the log limit up to like 20,000, because I would like a lot of those. I'd also like the food limit to be like 50,000, because I'd also quite like a lot of those. So, yeah, the more logs we have, the better, basically. That seems like a fair thing to say. That seems like a fair statement. I'm also thinking that I might bring the materials limit up to like 500. So we can start producing some lumber. Apparently, yeah, we've got like 700 materials. Okay, maybe 1,000 then. We'll bring it up to 1,000. We'll get ourselves some lumber. We'll see what happens. Let's also go ahead and increase the priority on these farms because it's early winter and I'd like these to be working in the new season if you wouldn't mind. There we go. So more blackberries and more blackberries, which is going to be 2 farmers per farm. We've got 7 laborers. We're going to go up to 10 farmers. We still have plenty of food left in the middle of winter, so we're doing all right. We, of course, have the fishing dock over here as well, which is going to be helping us quite a bit. But I might actually get a second one of those. That might not be a bad idea. If we get a couple more laborers, we can probably get a second fishing dock. I'm also thinking that I might go ahead and bring a gravel road up and around there. Although that is ever so slightly encroaching on the space that the gatherer and forester work in, so maybe not. Let's bring it down here instead. Let's bring a gravel road off of here. Going to about there. Then bring it the whole way across to there. And down like this. And I'm thinking I want to put a graveyard in there, basically. Because we're gonna need a graveyard. I have no idea where it is though. I literally have not got a clue. What is this? Themed sets, luxuries production, refined resources, resource production, town services. That's what I'm looking for. I assume worship and remembrance. We have fenceless cemeteries. We have cemetery. We have transparent cemetery, transparent fenceless cemetery, and an abbey, which houses monks that gather berries and herbs and brew ale. Okay. I mean, that doesn't seem like a terrible idea. We can also get like a central... Jesus! That's huge! Also, I feel like the reaction to a church being Jesus is somewhat appropriate. That old church is beautiful, though. I'm liking that. We have a chapel. We have a small that's beautiful as well. Look at that. We have, what is that? A seafarer's shrine. And then, of course, we have the parish house. All right, I want to get a cemetery, basically. Apparently too big. Good. What about that? Also too big. Good. So it has to be that size. I mean, can I not make it? I'd rather it was a bit bigger, but sure, that'll do. I guess I can put a little bit of decoration in here or something. I don't know what that decoration would necessarily be, but it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something. I mean, we have got decorative items. We have things like walls, hedges. Build a hedge if I wanted to. Not that I necessarily want to, because I don't feel like I've got to the point where I want to get decorative items. Are you out of wood? We are out of logs. This is a travesty. Right, hold on a minute. Let me just give an order to go and gather some more. Just get a few logs from up there. That'll do. They can go gather that. We're sitting on 2,200 food, and we've still got a couple of fields to harvest from. I would say we're doing all right. Gotta be honest, I think we're doing all right in terms of food production. We're up above 3,000. We've pretty much doubled the amount of food that we have. So that's nice. That's not something I'm going to complain about. I'm actually quite enjoying that fact. I'm also thinking that I might want to get another gatherer, because we do only have one. And also another forester, because we only have one. So I think I'm going to hold off on getting another fishing dock until I can fully stock, or fully staff, I should say, the gatherer's hut and the forester's lodge, which is a very nice little building, by the way. That's not the default one, as I'm sure you can tell. It's a very, very nice little building. Now let's see. Is this done? Yes, it is. 48 graves. People are currently visiting the empty graveyard. Here's a question. Is it a graveyard if it's completely empty? Or is it just a yard? Because if there's not a grave in there, then you can't really call it a graveyard, can you? Because it's not. It's just it's a fenced, it's a walled yard. That's a deep question. That is a deep question, is what that. That's not a deep question at all. That's a dumb question. But we'll just keep committing to the idea that it might be a deep question. Let's get the soil road and all that in there. We have some roads actually being put in here, which is not bad to see. Just keeping up with the aesthetic. The grey and brown really speaks to me. It's a really nice color scheme. Quite a fan. Gonna change my channel to be grey and brown, actually. It's a great, great color scheme. It's an absolutely beautiful color scheme. I am noticing, though, that we are a little bit low on the health of my citizens. So I think I should look into things like a hospital, which we might actually be able to build. A city hospital seems a little unnecessary. A herbalist would probably be good. In fact, a herbalist could go up here. You know what? I think I'm going to put a herbalist up there. I think that might be a good idea. Get me a herbalist. We might need an apothecary. Apothecary? An apothecary. There we go. That's what it's called now. It's an apothecary. Oh, we can't build one anyway. A city hospital, we probably could. I mean, we can build either of these. Neither, like, the city hospital doesn't take too much more than the regular one. And the regular one's pretty bloody big anyway. No different styles for it either, so it's kind of boring. I'm going to build a city hospital. It's a really nice looking building. Look at that. That's beautiful. Where do I want to put it, though? Over here? I feel like over here is where it should go. Yeah, let's get a city hospital. Let's build it. Let's see what it looks like. I mean, I know what it looks like, but let's see what it looks like when it's actually, like, in there and built amongst everything and actually possibly functioning. I mean, we are going to need to get people to run it. We're going to need to get curers? No, that's for tobacco. No, cure. Yeah, that's they cure tobacco. That's a very different thing. So who the hell works in a hospital? I mean, I know who works in a hospital. It's a doctor and nurses and surgeons. But my question, it's a physician. Okay, physician, heal thyself. Let's hope that this doesn't take too long to build. I mean, we do have lumber. We have lumber right there. The question is, do we have enough? The answer is, we're gonna find out. Let's speed up the game a little bit. Still sitting comfortably on almost, well, about 3,500 food there. Cannot complain whatsoever about that. I'm actually really, really pleased about that. Because, it means we're not gonna starve to death. And that's good. That's kind of what you want from life. You know, not starving to death is preferable to, well, starving to death. Let's look into some more refined resources, though, because I do want to look into getting a tailor, because we do want to make sure everyone's warm. So we could get a tailor. We have got the tailoring company. Oh, that would look beautiful next to the hospital. Unfortunately, I can't actually... Now, does that not work if I do it like that? That's interesting. Can I get this over the road? No. Unfortunately, I don't have one of the materials to make it. I don't know what that material is, but I'll figure it out. So the tailor can go, I'm going to say behind the hospital. That seems like a fair place for it, just up there. So we'll get that built. We can also look into things eventually like the Seamstresses Guild, which is a time-honored tradition of people who provide services relating to garments and clothing. Warmth apparently has no price for townsfolk who are willing to pay. We've got the bedding maker. There's a lot of interesting buildings in this. There's a lot of interesting buildings in this. I like it. I really do. I really, really do. I am also thinking that we're going to want to look into smelting, though. So we're maybe going to want a melting house, which converts gold and silver or... Okay, so that's not what I'm looking for. The metalsmith. Also, maybe not what I'm looking for. The forge creates iron from iron ore. Yeah, that's what I want. And then we got a foundry, which can do a lot of similar stuff. So the foundry is friggin' enormous and has to be on the water. So we're going to go with the forge, which is conveniently also friggin' enormous. Creates iron from iron ore. Also creates tin, copper, bronze, and pewter. Can make cannons, joists, iron statues, and bronze statues, as well as bronze tools. Okay. Have I got nothing else that can make iron? Small iron smeltery. Okay, that I feel is more like what I want. Because I feel like everything else is way, way too involved. So can this sit in nicely behind the blacksmith? It actually can. And I feel like that's where it should go. So I'm going to put a small iron smelter just in there. We are going to need fuel for it, though. So we need something like a stacks burner or a fuel refinery or the small fuel refinery, which I feel is also something that we should get over here. So the small fuel refinery makes furnace fuel. Only one worker can work here, and it's slightly less efficient than the large one per person. What about this? Layered wood or coal is stacked together in piles and burned into fuel from the inside out. Nah, I feel like maybe the fuel refinery is where it's at. I mean, I can build it. It's just a bloody enormous building. What about there? Let's put the fuel refinery there. So we can make our iron. We can make our fuel. It's going to be an interesting time, is what it's going to be. We've also only got one builder working on all this. Let's maybe get a second one. Let's also get a physician. Oh, look at that. Look at the hospital. Look at us with a city hospital. I imagine that's going to keep people nice and happy. It bloody better keep them happy. I'd be happy with a hospital like that. It's beautiful. I love that style of building. I really, really do. Man, we're already getting into all this stuff, aren't we? So what is this? That's the tailor. I mean, we could make it out of leather. We can make it out of wool because we have sheep. So wool coats seems like a good idea. We can get a tailor. We can bring the amount of builders down a little bit. We're gonna need to get a blacksmith, I assume. Yeah, we get another blacksmith. And you're gonna make iron from iron ore. That's fine. And then you, when you're done, are gonna do something as well. What's the job in there? That job is... What is that job? I feel like we've got... I mean, we have what... Oh, that's the building job, actually. Never mind. That's my mistake. Pay no attention to me. So I assume we're not making clothes. Yeah, we've got some wool in there. We're actually making clothes. People are going to be warm. People aren't going to be miserable. They're not going to get the cold. That's nice. I'm actually really happy about that. You know what I reckon? I reckon I could get a little house in there. I can get a tiny little shack in there. Which I think I want to do. Let's get a little shack just there. And let's get a bit of a soil road behind it. There we go. That's going to look interesting, is what it's going to look. That's certainly one word. So who does work in there? That, I have no idea what that job is. We're going to find out, though. It is a... It's not a herbalist, but we could do with one of those. It is a fuel refiner. Let's get one of those. Actually, let's get another one, and let's also get that second herbalist. Alright, so now we've got 2 laborers who can do anything, which is good. We're gonna start turning iron ore into iron bars. Although, what's this material? Oh, for God's sake. Hold on a minute. Furnace fuel from firewood? I don't know. Oh, you make it from firewood. Right, I see. I guess that's fine. The materials limit's gonna have to increase. It's gonna have to. It's gonna have to go like 1,500. This is why I don't like the materials limit. Because the fuel this guy's making, the furnace fuel, is also in the same category as lumber. Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because lumber is construction and furnace fuel is a consumable. It's really dumb that those are in the same category. But we're just gonna have to deal with it. It's a hard knock life is what it is. That's what we're dealing with here. I'm also thinking I'm gonna turn this into another stockpile. Not that we need it, but I mean, I don't really see me putting much else in there, so let's get another transparent stockpile. Just like that. I'm also thinking we probably want to get another woodcutter. Otherwise, we're going to run out of firewood real quick. So, let me, for one, go ahead and get a transparent wood stockpile just over here. Just sort of, we'll go for that size. And I'd also like to bring a gravel path around that, if I possibly can. So it goes to there, then that goes straight down to there. So yeah, a transparent wood stockpile is going to be good there because that's quite close to the Forester's Lodge. Then I'd actually like to put a woodcutter in here. So if we go to wood... no, there's the woodcutter there. Is there not a more efficient way to do that? Like, can I get you to make firewood? Yeah, I actually can. So I can actually get my sawmill to make firewood. Which is tempting. Because it's a bit more efficient. I think a sawmill might be more efficient. So, let's throw I could have thrown a lumber yard over here, couldn't I? Yeah. I might do that. I might very well do that. I might get rid of this stockpile and go throw a lumber yard in here. So let's remove that for the time being. Let's get that stuff out of there. And let me throw or maybe another sawmill. I could definitely do another one of those. Turn it that way, make it a big white and orange building. Although that could look nice over here too. I mean, not necessarily nice next to a hospital, but it could look like an interesting building is what I'm getting at. Nah, I don't want to put it next to a hospital. I do think I'm actually going to put it there. Like that. Let's do it. Let's get it built. It's going to take a little while because we don't have the, we don't necessarily have the resources. But I'm certainly going to try and make it work. So let's bring this around like that. Bring that over to there. We can actually get another little house in here as well, which will be somewhat useful. Just a little bit of expansion of the population is not going to hurt. That was supposed to be soil. That's still... That is apparently soil. Let me pause. Is that... That doesn't seem like it's putting down soil, does it? So remove those bits of road. And soil, please. There we go. And then we'll get the tiny little shack just there. All right, so that's a fair bit of construction to be done. We only have 0 builders, so we'll get 1 on that. And we'll hope for the best. And I think I'm actually going to change this up. So you're going to start making firewood. That seems like it would be a good idea. Let's bring the fuel limit up a little bit as well to about 600. This one can keep making lumber. This one is going to have to be firewood for a while. And I think since this one's a little bit more grimy looking, it makes sense. This nice orange and white one is going to be the fancy establishment. Basically. That's the plan anyway. We'll see what happens. We definitely do need to get ourselves more firewood, logs. So I think I'm going to send people out to just remove some resources all the way down here. So that is, what, 58? So let's do like 20 by 58. And remove all of that. And that should be fine. We're still sitting on plenty of food, which is really good news. That is absolutely good news. So we're not going to be starving to death anytime soon. We're finally getting a bunch of wood in here, which is going to be consumed initially, but I reckon as time goes by, we'll be able to get sort of a sustainable amount of... Did I say food or wood? Wood is what I'm looking for. A sustainable amount of wood should be achievable, especially if we get more woodcutters. Foresters is the word I'm looking for there. That should be fairly easy. Let's bring the herb limit up to 1,000 so we can make sure that we are able to look after everybody. Currently a bit low on firewood. People are actually starting to get quite cold. That's worrying. That is very, very worrying. That's because you're using firewood, aren't you? There's not a lot I can do about that. There's really not a lot I can do about that because firewood is just going to be ate up so quickly. It really, really is going to be ate up so quickly. It does look like we're sort of getting people to warm up. The alerts that people are cold seem to be going away from time to time. This one, not so much, but the people living right next to the stockpile are fine. But I'm just noticing every time that a bit of firewood comes out here, if you watch closely, you'll see someone come and grab it. Oh no, that person took it to their home. I think we're getting there. I think we might be slowly getting there. Especially since, oh my god, that's clear already? Jesus. We do have a lot of wood lying around though, which is nice. None of that's being made into lumber either. It's all being made into firewood and it's all being made into, that's all being made into fuel. So I think we'll be all right. I don't think there's too much to worry about there. We don't have anyone working in this currently. I'm going to turn that off just for the time being. I don't really think we need a lot of lumber. We can get that in the not too distant future. But for today, ladies and gents, I think I'm going to leave it there. So thank you kindly for watching. It seems that Tochus is going very, very well. The town of Tochus is having a grand old time. So, yeah, thank you again for watching. If you like the video, dislike it, do whatever. Share it on social media if you feel like it, if you reckon your friends would like it, because they might, you never know. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.